Good morning everyone. This is Shravani and I'm going to speak about operating system subject and unit is unit 1 and today we are going to discuss what is operating system and structure of operating system. So what is operating system? So computer system has many resources like hardware and software which may be required to complete a task. The commonly required resources are input or output devices, memory, file storage space, CPU, etc. So here comes the fund of operating system. The operating system, it acts as a manager of the above resources and allocates them to specific programs and users as necessary for their task. So therefore, operating system is a resource manager. So it can manage the resource of a computer system internally. So the resources are like processor, it might be memory, it might be files and any other input output devices. So in general, so the definition of operating system is like it comes into our mind like it is the interface between a computer user and the computer hardware. So it is a software which performs all the basic tasks like file management, memory management, process management. It handles the input and output devices and control the peripheral devices such as disk drivers and printers as well. Like nowadays, an operating system, it operates the computing devices like smartphones, tablets, computers, supercomputers, web servers, cars, network towers, smart watches, etc. So, it is an operating system that eliminates the need to know coding language to interact with computing devices. So nowadays, which we are using a graphical user interface that is Windows. So this acts as a platform between the user and the computer hardware. So in simple. So moreover, the operating system manages the software side of a computer and controls all the program execution. So now we have understood the definition of operating system. Now we are going to see the examples of operating system. So first example is DOS. So what is the full form of DOS? The DOS is nothing but it is a disk operating system. It is one of the first operating system for the personal computer and DOS is it has been invented in the early 1980s and it is a command line operating system that requires the user to memorize and enter all the commands from a command prompt. So this was a little bit difficult because entering the commands and remembering the commands. So this has become the disadvantage of this DOS because as it was not very user friendly. So next we'll see upon the next example of operating system that is Windows. And we all are aware of the Windows. Windows, it is a product of Microsoft and it is type of user friendly operating system which is having WIMP features and it is a graphical user interface. The WIMP features are like it has windows, icons, menus, pointing devices like mouse. So this is about the Windows operating system. And next we are going to the third example that is Mac operating system. So I hope everyone knows this operating system, at least you have heard about this operating system. Mac, it is a product of Apple and it has its own operating system with a different GUI and WIMP features. So next coming to this Linux and or Unix operating system. So this Linux and Unix, they were originally created with a command line interface. Means in the previous days we were using this Linux or Unix through command line interface. But recently we have added the graphical user interface enhancements. So Linux or Unix, it also will support the GUI. So and it is user friendly in the current because of this GUI interfaces and the different like Unix it was originally a command line operating system like DOS, but however it incorporates all the features of the modern GUI and more. And nowadays Unix is most popular for companies and large institutions, particularly for multi-user environments. And Linux, it is a Unix like operating system. It is used for personal computers. like it has its like source code. The text of the program is freely distributed, means it is not dependent, it supports independent platform, means like the source code, the program, and that is of free. It is so worldwide community of the users work to improve the Linux. So now these are the examples of the operating system, and now next we are going to see the structure of operating system. Operating system structure. An operating system, actually it is a construct that allows the user application programs to interact with the system hardware. We all know that, right? Since the operating system is such a complex structure, because I mean it should interact with the user as well as the hardware. So that we can define it as a complex structure. So this complex structure, it should be created with utmost care so it can be used and modified easily. So an easy way to do this, or to create the operating system in parts. So I mean there are different, or you can tell, 5 types of operating system structure. So these are the different structures. So first one is simple structure, second one is Unix system structure, third one is layered approach, fourth one is microkernel, and last is modules. So speaking about the first, that is simple structure, which is of MS-DOS, that is Microsoft Disk Operating System. So here in this simple structure, as you see in the, I mean you can see the diagram. It has, I mean by observing the diagram, like I just wanted to read out what all the main blocks it is having. First you are having application program. Application program is nothing but it is the user interface or user way. So what all the, I mean user can interact through this application program. And next is resident system structure. Next is resident system structure. And this resident system structure is nothing but it is like a system call. Nowadays we are using in Windows, like the different types of like fork, system call, exit, execution. So we'll be discussing about that also in the later slides. So this is the system call. Next is MS-DOS device drivers. I hope you all know this. Device drivers are very important if you want to use them, like mouse, keyboard, printers, etc. So that is the, I mean it is MS-DOS device drivers block. Next comes to the ROM, BIOS, device drivers. BIOS is nothing but basic input output system device drivers. So this is the simple, this is the structure for MS-DOS. This was the structure for MS-DOS operating system. But by looking at this, yeah, I think we all can feel that it has not been well defined structure. Why? Why it is not well defined structure? Because there is no CPU execution mode here. Means there is no different user mode and kernel mode. So there is a direct access to the hardware, and so errors in the applications could cause the whole system to crash. I think you can see here. See the total application program. I think I want to mark with. So the total application program is directly connected to this. It is connected to the hardware. And next, system calls are also directly connected to the hardware. And next, device drivers are also directly connected to the hardware. So because of this direct connections, so if any of the crash or if any of the abnormality happened at the like user side or system call side or device driver side, so this whole structure or this whole will be damaged. So that is the main disadvantage of this simple structure. And now and next we'll be going to explain or discuss. I'll be going to explain like Unix system structure, layered approach, microkernels and modules in the next class. Thank you.